Yeah, I a lot of, I mean, that kind of also goes into the whole being afraid of failure, and so to not, have perfect coverage of something and encounter those instances where you then realize that, something was missed and now it's broken, and figuring out a proactive approach to not get bogged down with thinking that you missed everything, or that it all. I part of that is like feeling like it's all relying on you versus there just being an issue and then solving the issue and moving on.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's tough for. It can be a tough position to be in sometimes as a QA, but I think it's especially tough for maybe people who haven't been QA for very long. Because I feel pretty confident in my ability or the value that I bring to a team. I'm also very comfortable being accountable for the quality for my team's work. And yes, I think like everyone on the team is responsible for that quality, but I'm very okay being the primary person that's accountable for quality. Like I want, I think I would encourage, my managers or directors or whoever, product people, that like if there are issues with a release, I would be happy for them to come to me and be like, what is going on here? Why did these things happen? Because I think it's my responsibility to either know why those things happen or to find out, right? And then like help my team be better about it. So yeah, I think it can put you on a spot, because sometimes the way those situations are approached, it can feel like maybe like an attack or something. Like, hey, QA person, why are these issues happening? This is your fault. But I think most of the time it's just like, well, you're the QA person. You probably are in a good position to be able to answer this. So I'm going to ask you, why are these things happening? And I think in my experience, it's mostly been that. It's like, it's just, there's an inquiry because there are these quality issues. We're in a quality role. And I think it's totally reasonable to expect us to be accountable to at least be the people that go searching for those answers if we don't know.
Right.
And if I don't know what the answer is, that's really interesting. It's really interesting news to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a positive spin that can be put on all of those situations of like, well, you now have just found either a short or long-term opportunity to learn new things, and so like that's something to get excited about. Yes, it may have come at the cost of an issue either going out or being found or addressed, but like you now get to spend that time to figure out how to then improve that vulnerability.
Definitely.
Yeah, that feeling of missing something is definitely something I've experienced. I mean, it's inevitable. I mean, we're not perfect, but it's always that like, what could I have done differently that wouldn't have encountered that issue? So yeah, that's...
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, yeah, because it's something, I think in QA you need to have this, like, sort of mindset where that, you need to review the bugs that come up in your area or for your team, for your feature work, whatever. And and I think you need to be accountable to them in a way that it does drive you to be better and want to help your teams be better. I think it's easy to. I think it can be uncomfortable when bugs come up, and it's we don't want that to happen. And so there's always the potential to kind of shy away from that and just be like, I don't know, maybe even find excuses for why they happen, or just kind of throw our hands up. And in some cases, you have to just throw your hands up. But I think in most cases, there's just an opportunity for us to improve. And we just need to be honest and accountable about that. And I think that's really it. And then the next steps will, I think, hopefully be pretty clear. But yeah, those are all really good learning opportunities.
Yeah. It's like, how do you gain insight into your own weaknesses?
Yeah, that depends. So sometimes I think maybe retroactively it's identifying bugs that have cropped up, and then trying to like actively think about, well, what are the steps that I could have taken, or how could have I contributed at some point in the process to prevent this issue. And if I don't know what I could have done, then that's usually a signal that there's probably something for me to learn. And then, also I think it comes up in planning meetings, when we're talking through upcoming feature work, if I don't feel like I have the knowledge or I've acquired the information to really accurately assess the risk or the testing needs for a story, it's usually because there's just more for me to learn. So I don't know if I have like a concrete process around that, but I'm just very aware of those moments. And just use those times where I go like I don't think I know enough to just kind of make a note of that and then at some point try and do something about it, Mostly because I don't like that feeling.
Right.
And so I don't want that feeling.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to bring value to my teams at every step of the process. So yeah.